Arg, what's up? Oh, why is it like this? Dave, why is it like this? There we go. There we go. It fixed. Erg, we're live, Dave, because the countdown finished as you were going. Yeah, we're here. Welcome. What's up? What's up, real MVPs? Also, we were a little bit down because I didn't realize that when I do it with just us two, it's a different thing than when it's you and Jake, and I'm kind of sitting under you because we have to hide me. But welcome into MVP Sports. We're talking NBA as we usually do, kind of an impromptu live show for you guys, talking about Jake and Dave did this last week where they talked about first impressions of the NBA season. We're now doing it for week numero dos. I'm going to let Dave take it over in a second. He's put all this together, but he wanted me to do the housekeeping because, you know, Dave, I'm so damn good at it, right? I've done it. I've done it. I have done it enough to where it's ingrained in my head. But if you guys haven't already, just like Spider, who's in the YouTube chat, like Chainsaw, who's in YouTube chat, join the Discord down below. Greatest community in the universe. We're talking NBA each and every day, and we might be pissing off Jake each and every day, too. That is said to happen because the dude's got the thinnest skin. Oh, it's so thin. Oh, it's so thin. I bet you he gets burned really easily. Like, yeah. Oh, Dave, if we beat the Sixers the first game, I already have the intro planned. I already have the intro planned for my video if we beat the Sixers either of the games. But join the Discord. It's a great time, as you guys can tell. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids or become a channel member today. Those links are both down below. And then also hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to keep in tune with what we're doing. I got college football, actually an announcement. Shortly after this airs, I will be premiering my first college football playoff rankings before the committee does it because we all know they're going to fuck it up anyways. You are muted. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. Thank you for letting me know that. Chat is Chat is the bomb, the awesome sauce, thebomb.com, Dave, as we used to say in the early 2000s, late 90s. But with that being said, they heard all the housekeeping.
It's a pirate hat. That's a sign. Should have done it.
It's the pirate. Well, I'm wearing the pirate get up. I got to play like the Pittsburgh Pirates. Sell the team. Sell the team. Got it. But Dave, I will now kick it off to you. You take it away. Talking NBA week numero dos.
Sure. So we'll get things started with the biggest topic of the week. And by biggest, I mean fattest. And by fattest, I mean Zion Williamson. Look,
poor Zion.
It's not good. A clip came out of him at practice, and he's up there. I can't tell if this is like James Harden, Vince Carter style of like, just don't want to play, get me out of here. I won't try. I won't get in shape even. Like a Charles Barkley strategy. I'm not quite sure what to make of it really. All I know is at this point they've come out, they being the Pelicans front office, and said we're still 2 to 3 weeks out from another scan to see if he can practice in 5-on-5. So with that new timeline, with the early season struggles of the Pelicans, and it's very clear that they suck as a team right now. What do you think is going on? Is this just Zion wants out, or is this Zion has a health issue on top of whatever else is going on? Like, what do you make of this situation going on in New Orleans?
I hope it's not a health issue, but there's a part of me that's like, if Zion had a health issue, wouldn't it it's not like, oh, he goes all through college and then boom, magically a health issue comes up.
All through college
like,
is 6 months.
Yeah, I know. Good point. But like, usually like something like this doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. But yet again, not a doctor, do not have a medical degree. Do not quote me on that. I think it is exactly what you said. I talked about this with Soapy in length when we talked about Zion, when me and him were just chilling. And there's a part of me that goes, the New Orleans Pelicans are a shit organization, Dave. And when I say shit organization, I mean their owners will not do anything to help them win. They will do everything to help them lose. Anthony Davis, look at what they did for him. Like, this is something where Zion is probably like, why should I even try? And yet again, you might say like, oh, then he's a cancer to the locker room. But I just think it's a thing of like, hey, I'm just going to enjoy myself because this team obviously does not care about putting a winning product on the court.
Well, they're trying a lot. they're trying a lot of things because you can't argue the fact that they've had turnover in the front office, they've had turnover in the head coaching position. They've tried to reshape this franchise a couple times now since Zion's been there. I mean, it was very clear early on how special of a talent he is.
Yep.
But Stan Van Gundy was the wrong guy to make that happen on the court. So we're like, cool, let's move on. New guy, same issue, and now we're like, okay, so we'll get a floor spacing 5 out there. But again, we haven't seen them play together, so it's like, is it going to work? Is it not? Is this whole thing just a stack of cards, and it's all propped up by the idea that Zion is their guy, and if he's not there, this team can't function? Like, a la for football fans, Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers. Like, are the Panthers a good football team? No. Are they a good football team when Christian McCaffrey is out there? Yes. Yes, they are, because Christian McCaffrey is a fucking monster who the team is built around. So, like, I kind of wonder if it's just they did this whole thing with the bet on, hey, this is the guy who is going to make, once he's in there, everything else will hold up around him, and this team will function the exact way. You'll see the vision. Yeah. You will see the vision that we put together for how this team's supposed to work. I'm having a hard time buying it. I'm in a set where it's like, on one hand, I want to believe that he wants to play basketball because it's all we've ever heard out of him. He always is saying, I want to compete. I want to go out there. I want to play. Let me play. The doctors, they're on their own timeline. Like, I'm clearing myself to play, kind of a thing, which is cool. He's got the drive to play. So the weight thing turns into like a question of like, is this a choice? Or is this like a eating disorder or like a mental health issue? Like, I think you kind of have to add in those like asterisks, because you're like, it could be any of these. And I know that mental health in the NBA right now is very front and foremost for a lot of teams.
Not even just the NBA, in all of sports.
Oh, in all sports, yeah. But there's a lot of examples in the NBA. Kevin Love, a couple of years ago, bring it to the front spotlight for the NBA about mental health and depression. More recently, we've seen players take leave of absences from teams. Tyrell Terry, notably not in the NBA right now, after having to just step away for the third time in 2 years. To start his career. Rui Hachimura is away from the team. Obviously, Kyrie Irving is away from his team. Ben Simmons is not playing basketball. Like, there are so many players who are taking time away to hopefully get themselves into a better place. And I don't know if Zion's in a situation where, like, maybe he needs to find that, whatever it is, to get back on track to become, the elite athlete he was. So I'm not trying to say he has an issue or something. I'm just trying to guess at how we got here. And, like, do you see this resolving, like, in the night, like, in 3 weeks, if he gets clean scan, is he magically going to be playing basketball in 2 weeks after that? Or
I think this is similar to, I know Jake talked about this with me, where the similar thing, not to the level of Zion, because Zion was already a big guy coming into the NBA, but like Jake mentioned, we saw a similar thing to Joel Embiid. However, Joel Embiid was kind of skinny coming out of college. So it was kind of like Joel was trying to gain as much weight as he could to try to pack on some muscle. And then he had to learn to like, okay, what am I like, now that I've added all this, how do I shed the fat? And I just go with the muscle. I feel like it might, like, there's a possibility it could be that. I don't think it shores up in about 3 weeks, but it is something that I do not think that Zion, like anyone out there who's saying, see, Zion's a bust, he ain't going to do anything. He'll be fine. Like, what is this? What, we're in year 3? Like, how many people in Joel Embiid's career, year 3, was like, oh, he's a bust, he's never going to play? Now, those were injury concerns too.
A lot.
But like,
prior to the year, I mean, he did come in and play for a handful of games in year 3 and looked great until he got hurt again. And I think that might be the expectations people have to understand is, hey, Zion is an explosive player, but his body literally has issues staying on the court. So you need to set the expectations appropriately. I mean, I don't want to told you so dance all over everybody, but John Morant was the best player in the draft class, and we all fucking heard it from me for an entire year and a half, and y'all wouldn't fucking listen.
Spider brings up a good point, though, when he says, but I feel like when he actually trains and goes 100%, I feel like it would get burned off, and he'll establish his dominance similar to Harden.
I mean, that's entirely possible. Like, that's a crazy thing. The Zion last year, for all the shit that everyone gave him about him being out of shape and how bad the Pelicans were, still put up incredible numbers, efficiency-wise and just pure volume-wise. When he's on the court, he's damn near unstoppable attacking the paint. I mean, there's just no one else built like him with the explosiveness, with the athleticism, with the quick first step. Like, it shouldn't exist. And that is what makes Zion so intriguing. That's why I'm like, Pelicans fans, don't give up. I think this is just, you have to slow play it. Like Ricky said, take the Embiid example. This is not a rush. This team is not a championship team.
Yeah.
We are still fine-tuning who needs to be on the roster, who can actually play around him. So I think the early season Zion concerns are valid. But at the end of the day, I'm hoping that by December 15th, we're talking about Zion's having his first game in the season. Like that's somewhere mid-December is where I would expect to mark his return. If everything goes right, that's assuming the 2 to 3 weeks for a scan, a couple weeks to get into game shape, and then obviously limited minutes. You're not going to put him out there for 25, 30 minutes first night.
And him to just come in and basically just impose his dominance and his will on the NBA because he is the best player in that draft class.
He's not. He's the second best, as proven by John Morant being a top 5 MVP candidate
John,
right now.
John Morant's most improved.
But he's also an MVP candidate.
I will say this.
He's doing the honest thing.
I will say this. Zion, MIP next year.
He'd have to put up like 40, and that's not impossible. That's not impossible. It's just unlikely. But yeah, I do want to leave it off there. Guys in chat, if you guys have any thoughts on, if this is all physical, if this is him trying to send a message to the Pelicans he wants out, or if there's something else going on that isn't being shared with the public that we don't deserve an answer for. He doesn't feel obligated to answer it, but it's just like, is there something else kind of the root cause behind all this? And that's, I'm more so leaning towards that at this point, in my own personal opinion.
And Pat, Ricky trying to bait Dave. I do want to say from chat, like Pat says, I think we should leave him alone till he plays. Well, first off, no. Like, people like us, we can't leave him alone. We got to talk about it because it's a big deal that he's not playing. And then when Bren says it is fat shaming, maybe my clickbait title is fat shaming, but our discussion is not. You bring him in with the clickbait, you have an actual conversation, Dave. That's how YouTube works. Right, Pat McAfee? Right, Pat McAfee?
We can just admit Ricky did set that up for a total clickbait title.
But you come in, you're like, wow, I hear an actual conversation. I got him with the clickbait. You keep him with that conversation, Dave.
I mean, trust me, as far as like fat shaming goes, if we're gonna do it, we'll be obvious about it. We try not to. This is more so just trying to find out what happened to this young kid's, like, literally, he is so fucking good at basketball, and yet he can't get on the court. I think everybody just wants to see him play.
Fat shaming ain't nothing new to me, Dave. I am too aware with the fat and the shaming.
Pot, kettle.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's bad. Join the club. Join the club, Zion. We got the keggers over here.
And with that note, moving on from one potentially shithole franchise to another, the Phoenix Suns, in a very interesting move.
But they were in the finals a year ago.
They were in the finals this year, and they did have some great moves. But in what is honestly one of their worst moves in recent history, Jalen Smith has not had his rookie contract extension picked up. So this is massive because it's so unprecedented as far as lottery picks not being extended out on that. Like, it's literally a guarantee almost. It's the, like, it's just, it's free. It's rookie control contracts. Yeah. And this is so bizarre to me because Jalen Smith at the time, Ricky and I both tried to handle that draft pick as positively as possible because, look, Jalen Smith, in theory, like, made sense to some extent. I could see why fit-wise they were looking for someone who's a stretch big, who can shoot from three, and who could rebound really well. It sounds like a great partner long-term for DeAndre Ayton, and then they can run small ball fives with that while Ayton's on the bench. Like, in theory, sure. Were there better picks available? Yes. Was Tyrese Halliburton falling? And I'm sitting here screaming at the screen, Ricky is here. Shit, Jake, Sean, everyone who's with us in Discord all knew Tyrese Halliburton was the pick, and they didn't make it. Yes, we could be angry about that. It will not change. The fact of the matter is, Sarver, in this case, is choosing to cut his losses at such an early stage. This kid has played less than 200 minutes in the NBA. Think about that. Less than 200 minutes of game time in the NBA. And out of that, how much is not garbage time? Maybe 12 minutes? Maybe? Like, this is insane to me, right, Ricky? I'm not going crazy. This is insane.
This is just, they made a bad pick. And now all they can do is cut, like you said, cut their losses. Because I even pulled up. So the next 3 picks after them, Vassell to the Spurs, Halliburton to the Kings,
That's very
Kira
bad.
Lewis Jr. to the Pelicans.
But
Kyra Lewis Jr. But like, I look at our mocks too from 2020. Dave, in your last 5.0, you had Kyra going to the Suns. In my last one, my 6.0, I had Tyrese Halliburton going to the Suns. In my Fitz draft list, I had Devin Vassell going to the Suns. And in our Discord mock, Alexis took Kyra. So it's either Kyra, Vassell, Halliburton, any of those three would have been better than Jalen Smith.
I mean, they had a very clear need for a backup point guard. Campaign played out of his mind in the scenario, but at the same time, you can't tell me that having Tyrese Halliburton would not have made them better. Yeah. You can't. So it's just, looking back on it, it hurts, obviously, but the move to cut losses on Jalen Smith after such little playing time sends a message. One, I think a lot of people interpret it as Sarver's cheap, and he's already in the luxury tax with Chris Paul making $37 million, whatever it is. Lots of millions of dollars. Many millions. Many millions of dollars. All the millions of dollars to try to avoid a luxury tax because of the current status of the team. But it's a series of moves as a whole. It's the not extending Ayton. It's giving Bridges what is interesting for a contract. I think a lot of people were curious if he was going to get more. But you know, they did lock down McHale at least. But Ayton's unresolved contract situation and then not re-signing Jalen Smith for a freebie and just giving him time to develop, like, both those moves, I'm sorry, this just continues to point back at Phoenix being a shithole of an organization run by one of the cheapest and worst owners in the NBA.
So,
and it hurts because, like, Phoenix they're a really fucking good team.
Chris Paul's making 30.8 this year, 28.4 as 37-year-old, 30.8 as a 38-year-old, and then as a 39-year-old, a $30 million non-guaranteed contract before he's a free agent at the age of 40.
Yeah. So, Chet's bringing up a good point around this as far as, Pat says maybe they found out he couldn't play in the NBA.
Maybe, but that's a bad pick. But that's a bad pick.
It is a bad pick regardless, but Papa John's was someone who, similar situation, I guess. He was cut very early in his career, couldn't hack it. But I just feel like Jalen Smith at least showed you some promise. Summer League, he balled out. He played well, and I think that this is kind of like a weird message because I think the Suns need help, and the fact that they're just like, not you, buddy, not you. They need help at the big man. They need a backup big. Dario being out, like, Paul. Jesus, Frank Kaminsky is fine, but he clearly has his flaws, and you're not going to win a championship with him as your backup big. So this move to me says a couple things. One is a fuck you, obviously, from Sarver, but two is he's on the market. If anyone wants him, he's discarded trash at this point. So I look around the league, and obviously, Ricky, I would be remiss if, as a Bulls fan, I didn't go, could we use someone who is big and who can stretch the floor?
Could we get him for a pop machine? I'd take him for a pop machine.
I mean, $225,000 a pop machine.
Yeah,
hopefully pop machine for 3 years.
He'll get some play time.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those weird things where, like, I think that the Bulls should look at him and see what the cost is. Because obviously we need a replacement big with Pat Williams out for the rest of the regular season.
Unless AK's got higher things in mind.
Well, that's the thing. So I start Bulls, but I very quickly go to this next team up, and I go, the Spurs have someone who we know is a very, very good player. They have Thaddeus Young.
Yeah.
I think the Suns would love Thaddeus Young. And I think if you attached a pick to what's his face? I can't think of his name. Smith, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Jalen Smith plus a pick for Thad Young. I think that's a win-win deal. I think the Spurs would love that deal because the Spurs get someone young. They get someone who is a reclamation project of sorts, but also hasn't logged enough minutes to be bad. Unless this guy's just totally sandbagging practices and like telling it, like, we're gonna hear like after the fact he can't, like, stories come out of practice and shit where he's just not trying. Like, I know last year there was a lot of frustration that came out publicly from him about his lack of minutes. So it wouldn't be it wouldn't be unprecedented to hear like more of that happen. And he's just like, him and the franchise are just at an impasse. We need to just move on, and it's best for everybody. But that seems like a win-win deal, right? Spurs Thad Young goes over to the Suns and they get Smith and they get a pick back, like even if it's an early two, I mean, is that not a win-win?
Well, the other team that I'm thinking about too, and I just want to throw them out there, like this isn't a like, oh, they need to for sure do it, but like, could the Grizzlies be a team? To where it's like,
could be, yeah.
They're always a team that's like, hey, let's take a swing.
Right.
They drafted Zaire Williams because, let's take a swing on him. Could be the next Jalen Smith. We don't even know.
Okay. Let's not say things here, Ricky. Let's not go there.
I just mean
Zaire is someone who was a top pick for a reason.
Top 10. Both went at number 10, I believe.
Okay, Ricky, you're just stating. You just toss out this shit.
Both could be like the wow. Didn't pan out like they thought we would.
Zaire got taken because of his upside.
Mm-hmm.
He is a top wing talent who has all the capabilities to be a two-way wing in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Jalen Smith was taken because of his ability to stretch the floor and rebound at a high level. But you're right. The MO of reclamation project for the Grizzlies is spot on, and credit to you for picking up on that because I've been preaching it for about a year and a half.
Can I ask this question though?
Yes.
Will Chris Duarte be the Tyrese Halliburton of last year's draft? The guy who should have went in the top 10 but didn't?
Probably yes. Well, here's the thing. We got to wait 5 years to find out if anybody's better than he is his rookie year. Because that's the timeline. Like, these rookies are 19 and he's 25. So you got to wait for that progression to happen. But also, timeline matters, guys. Like, if you want to win a championship, having a 19-year-old on a team is probably not going to help you too much.
Yeah.
But Chris Duarte, who can come in the league and be a above-average starter day one, is pretty fucking fantastic. And sometimes that's just too good to pass up a sure thing. So I think I'm in on that one. I think I'm in.
I love Devon in chat. Why trade Jonas and Allen, but keep Slow-Mo and Jaren? Dave, go on your Jaren rant. Your Jaren Jackson rant.
Okay. Quickly, because this isn't part of the show, but I do love the questions in chat. I'm glad you brought chat into this. The Memphis Grizzlies are all about selling at a high. So they needed minutes for Desmond Bane to be a starter, as proven by the fact that Desmond Bane is a fucking phenomenal starter out there. He is putting up 18 and 4 a night on insane percentages from the field. He is fantastic and he deserves the minutes. They had a loaded backcourt as far as wings go. They need to have minutes to be freed up for Zaire Williams, and they need to have minutes freed up for Melton, and they need to have minutes freed up for Bane. With those three guys, you still have Jalen Brooks. So they had an overflow. They had to flip him. They went for a reclamation. It's fine. That's fine. Valanciunas, sell at a high. You think he came off a career year. They didn't want to pay him. I think the contract that the Pelicans got him for was actually really good. I'm surprised he signed that way. I figured it was about $4 or $5 million more would have been the expectation there. So I think that's fine. I think both those moves are fine. It's just Slow-Mo is a guy who's going to move. He's a locker room guy right now, but he's going to get moved this year. Jaren Jackson's just collapsed. I want to like him.
This is weird because in the draft process, you were the biggest Triple J fan.
I was. Who doesn't love a guy who can shoot threes and is 7 foot tall and has incredible blocking?
The Grizzlies were your team. Triple J and Ja, your two faves.
Yeah. They were the Jays, the Memphis Grizzlies.
The Memphis Grizzlies.
But yeah, no, that's a whole different thing I don't want to get into, but you can see Pat, you know me well, you call it like you see. There was a death there. Point is, I think there's a lot of teams who would be very interested in Jalen Smith. I don't think his NBA career is over.
Yeah, because the price is low.
The price has to be extremely low.
Yeah.
But also, did Sarver shoot himself in the foot?
Yes.
These teams now have to have Jalen Smith come in, and his contract isn't guaranteed after this year. So you have to negotiate a brand new contract.
Yeah.
He fucked himself. He literally could have been yeah, sure, I'll pick it up. It's $5 million. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
And then you can move him, and he's worth more because he's a guaranteed
because he's
$5 million
got that
next year.
asset on the
yes. Because you give him the hope of hey, you could flip him and he could be a good player, and you could have him next year for $5 million, and then the year after that for $6 million.
There's a part of me that wonders: are they even going to trade him? Are they even going to trade him, and they're just going to waive him mid-season or something like that?
I think they look for a deal. I think there are teams who are interested. There's a lot of rebuilding teams in the NBA right now who would like to give someone with his measurables and his potential a shot. I think.
Yeah.
The fact that he gets no minutes, I think it's under 200 minutes in an NBA season in 2 years. You can't move on from that. You don't know what he is.
Yeah.
He's too much of an unknown quantity unless this man is toxic as fuck in practice.
And trading for it, you're like, what am I getting?
Yeah. So, wrapping that up.
Yeah.
I want to move on to the next thing, which
Go ahead.
is, I mean, we're living in Overaction City over here in chat and in Discord. If you guys haven't checked out our Discord, check it out. There's so many horrible basketball conversations going on at all times. I think everybody's just flaming everyone. It's early season. Everyone has a take that is real and legitimate and grounded and solid, and I love it. I mean, right now, Jaren Jackson Jr. can't shoot threes from Devon.
Who is a
Triple
Grizzly
J.
fan? He said he is a Grizzly fan.
He is, and I love him. And I know we've talked about this before, but like injury prone, foul liabilities. Like there are some overreactions, there are some reactions. So I want to talk overreactions for the start of the season. I want to talk panic button, Ricky.
Okay.
I want to talk. Is it too early to hit the panic button for some of these teams?
Am I hitting the panic button?
I'm gonna start off very, very close to home.
Yeah.
In the bottom of the East. The Indiana Pacers, 1-6 to start the season. They look like straight ass, as I predicted.
Yeah.
Karis LeVert finally back playing games. Hopefully he stays healthy. That's not his MO though. T.J. Warren's still out injured. Rick Carlisle seemingly doesn't like Miles Turner, but Chris Duarte's playing fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
You got that going for you.
Good
Is this not a playoff team?
I mean, looking at the teams that have beat them, like. Really on the schedule, the only teams, like, it's weird because Charlotte's playing very well. They beat them game 1-1. Washington is 5-1. They're playing phenomenally. They beat them in overtime too. Like 2 1-point losses to start the season. Like that's rough. That like those are games where it's like, okay, we're 1-6, but bounces of the ball go differently. We get 2 wins there. Really, to me, the unexcusable ones are against the Raptors. Losing at Toronto, where you lose by 18, and then you play them at home on the 30th, and you lose by 3. Like, those are the 2 losses to where I'm like, okay, the other 2 bounce of the ball, but, like, they play the Spurs tonight, and then after tonight, the Knicks who have their shit together, the Blazers who are getting their shit together, the Kings who are a scrappy team, the Nuggets are kind of iffy right now. The Jazz are very beatable, as the Bulls proved, but I think Jazz
they did just
beat the Pacers.
You know.
Yeah, I mean the Bulls.
Jazz
are
the top team in the West right now. I'm just saying.
Top team.
Top team in the
Philly,
West. Put some respect
York,
on that. Anyone who beat the Jazz must be a really good team, Ricky. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna say hover over that panic button because they're next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games after today.
Yep.
I'm worried about Knicks, Blazers, Kings, Nuggets, Jazz, Sixers, Knicks.
I think I got 2 wins there. That's
exactly.
And I think this is
no point.
Is a very, and this is a team that's kind of like, it feels like a island of misfit toys. Like they have names, they have good players, but it just doesn't fit. And obviously, someone's getting moved, or multiple people are getting moved off this team. So I think that this is a team waiting to toss the hot seat, and I think Carlisle's got a year to figure his shit out, and you're gonna see some moves happen by mid-year, 100%.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Moving up a little bit from that. I mean, we expect the Magic to be here. We expect the Detroit Pistons to be here. But the Boston Celtics, and I know we've got some Boston Celtics fans in chat.
Panic. Like,
Brad Stevens.
Go full JD panic mode.
Brad Stevens, what did you do to this roster? The answer's nothing. It's your fault. You chose to be fucking complacent. That's my take. I ride down in the offseason. I talked so much shit, mostly about Kemba, but like that was just kind of crossfire at the time. But this is a team without a point guard, and they got Schroeder to be a 6-man scorer, which he is, and he's fine at. I mean, I have no problem with that. But the lack of development of young talent has been something that I've harped on so hard for this Boston team, because for years they overachieved and they got to the playoffs and they had great runs, and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum both are fucking studs, and I just look around and I look at the rest of the talent, draft picks, young talent on the team. They didn't get minutes. Like Grant Williams got minutes, and honestly, has not panned out great for him. But like other young talent, obviously Romeo Langford injuries didn't exist for a couple of years. Like they just have not hit enough on young talent to fill in that roster, and haven't given enough minutes to find out, who we got on this roster. So it just feels like he ran it back, and this is a year where there's it's a playing team.
So there's a part of me that's like hit the panic button. However, I do look at the games they've played. They lost by 2 points in double overtime to a New York team where Evan Fournier said, "Here's my revenge game. Fuck you, Boston."
That's cool.
They lose again to Toronto. Like, what is up with the Toronto Raptors? The Bulls are the only team that escaped Toronto with a W, by the way. That's what it seems. Like, and then they lose 2 games to Washington. Like, Washington may just be a good team. Here's what I'm saying.
They are a good team.
Here's what I'm saying with the Celtics, and this is what I think. I'm going to wait and see what November brings, because November, I look at their entire schedule. Besides the Bulls tonight, the Heat on November 4th, the Bucks on the 12th, the Hawks and the Lakers, and the Nets later in the month.
Yep.
The rest of their games are winnable. You've got Orlando. You've got 2 games against Cleveland. You got an OKC game, a Houston game. San Antonio might be rough, but you got another shot at Toronto. Like, there are some games in here where it's like, okay, they're winnable. If they come out through the month of November still in one piece, okay, maybe this team gels. Now, if they continue these ways, hit the panic button, season's over.
I think that obviously you have to make the asterisk. I didn't mention it earlier, so I will now. Jaylen Brown, obviously, dealing with the post effects of COVID-19. So, like, he talked about how like playing one game felt like 3 games.
Yeah, it's supposed to give you a superpower, right? Like, you're supposed to be God.
It did not work out that way for him.
No, not at all.
So, like, it's tough. Obviously, every team has to deal with shit going on. Boston knows that more than most. Last year, they suffered the most games out from any team.
Get the vaccine
for their players. But I think that this is just a team that's several pieces away. Even though they have 2 absolute fucking studs, potential all-stars on this team, it's just not there. You can like pieces, but this is not a good team. And I think that the expectation is probably a play-in tournament team this year, if I had to say right now. But I do agree. You do bring up a great point about their schedule looking favorable going forward. They got 6 rough matchups where I think that those games are tough. But outside of that, there's a lot of games to pick up there, and they can easily climb their way back up in the East.
Spider also says they aren't even motivated to do anything. Should have lost to the Hornets. Washington destroyed them.
Yeah,
Knicks seem to be better. Need JT or JB to drop 30 to have a chance.
Yeah, the team is so dependent on their 2 primary ball handlers because they don't have a point guard. They have no offensive sets. They have iso ball, and it's disgusting. It's bad basketball. And I'm surprised that Ime Udoka is like cool with that. He talked about, I remember this offseason, he made a big point about like, we're going to pass the ball. Last year, you guys were like 29th in fucking assists or some shit. So, like, he knows the problem, and yet it feels like he doesn't have the tools to fix it yet. So, even though Marcus Smart is, you know, the darling of the GM right now, the little twinkle in his eye, there's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of talks going on about Marcus Smart and him not being along with the team. So, we will see. We will see. But that does it for the Eastern Conference. I think the Bucks...
I was going to say, I had him up. I thought you were going to ask. I was like, ooh, Dave's going to go to the Bucks. Should we be worried? Should we be worried 3 or 4? I'll throw it at you. Should we hit the panic button?
No. They lost against the Jazz without 3 of their starters.
Good point.
I'm not super concerned. Giannis is still Giannis. I think Grayson Allen looks really good, actually.
The Timberwolves are good this year.
Hey, I called it. Fuck off. Hey, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Please make that tweet, T-Wolves. Please tweet it.
Shut up. Don't jinx it. They're good. Please take away Cat's Twitter. Just in case. Just in case. I'm just saying, this is a Milwaukee team that they're pros. They're gonna get in. I don't know that they're gonna struggle for long. I think this start of the season is very much just like, hey, let's get back into shape again. Let's make sure our minutes are good. Let's make sure everybody's gonna be healthy. It's more so, I think what they're doing is depending on the depth of their roster and giving them minutes early when it doesn't matter. To be completely honest, it doesn't matter. This is a playoff team through and through. There's no way they're not going to be a playoff team when they're all playing. So, and this is more so like, hey, can we run lineups with, you know, George Hill, Grayson Allen, and Dante DiVincenzo out there 3 wide, or is that a liability for us? Can we play Thanasis serious minutes and contend with other teams? Like, they're just kind of doing things to see how it works. I'm cool with that. I think that's actually really smart for a top tier team because they're not reliant on home court advantage. This is not like a massive, like, no offense Milwaukee, but like the home court is not exactly killer for a lot of things there. So no, I think the Bucks are cool. I think they're cool. What about you? Are you good? Or are you panicking?
I need to wait and see.
Okay.
They're a team I feel like will turn it around and right the ship.
Okay. Okay.
So
That's
I
fair.
guess no, not panicking. Is
That's
that the easy answer?
correct answer. That is the correct answer. Do not panic. In the Western Conference,
Yeah.
we talked about Pelicans start the show. They're the worst team in basketball. And it's kind of funny. And it's kind of sad.
Are they
all
the
at same
worst?
time.
But like, I know record wise, but like the Thunder are worse, right?
Thunder are so terrible. They're hilariously terrible. They are embarrassingly terrible.
There's only one team
but
worse.
they did win a game that they shouldn't have, and that was kind of, I want to give them credit for it.
That's what I was gonna say. There's one team worse than them, and that's the Los Angeles Lakers.
So I want to give them credit for the win.
But they didn't
Quality
have
of win
LeBron.
matters. Quality of win matters. Record overall doesn't. Quality of win matters. So I want to give that to them.
But Dave, I was told in Discord that a team with AD, Russ, and Melo still couldn't beat the Thunder because they didn't have Big Papa LeBron, Dave. Big Papa LeBron needs to be there to beat the Thunder.
Yep.
I
You
bet
can't leave him alone.
You know what? I bet the Bulls without Zach could beat the Thunder.
Bro, do not say shit like that this early in the season. You're fighting to be recognized as a top-tier team, and you're like, let me just throw out some shit and see watch this slap me in the back of the head in a month. Like, no, Ricky, we're not doing that right now.
DeMar DeRozan carries the team in Zach's absence.
He does already. We don't know.
But the
Okay,
Western
sorry.
Conference, I digress.
Western Conference. Pelicans at the bottom. Makes sense. Thunder, Rockets, we expect it to be there. Clippers, though. Paul George having a fantastic year, but not quite good enough. Not quite good enough. And our boy Retro, I'm sorry, man. Terrence Mann, he's not taking that step. He's not the guy.
But like
Luke Kennard is shooting well.
But look
he's not enough.
look at the teams they've played. Golden State, who's probably going to win it all this year.
Likely.
Memphis, who's playing well. Yeah, they beat
Memphis. The team
like
got worse.
Yeah, got worse. Like the only game that's like a shocker that they lost was the Cavs. To me, that's the only shocker because like even Portland, that second game, I remember looking at the lines and stuff. I'm like, I'm not going to touch it because when a team gets a second look at you, you see some different things. And let's be completely honest, the only reason they beat Portland is because Luke Kennard decided to go off from three.
Yeah,
he decided to have what 5 threes in that game, 6 threes,
something like that.
Yeah, 6 of 7 from 3 for 23 points.
It's a normal Luke Kennard night. Normal Luke Kennard night. Look, I know the Clippers don't have Kawhi Leonard. I know that's what their system's predicated on. But the point stands that, you pull one guy out of that lineup and they're the worst fucking team in the league. Like, what? Mm-hmm. One of the worst, not the worst, obviously. But, like, it's... I don't know. Like, is it too early to hit the panic button? Or do you just hope that they ride it out and, like, the expectation is, hey, we'll just get there eventually when Kawhi comes back. If he makes back for the All-Star break, great. Is this a playoff team even without Kawhi Leonard, though? Like, are they going to struggle to get in?
Without Kawhi Leonard, no. Your best situation in this case is hoping you Lakers it from last year. Where it's like, okay, we at least make the play-in tournament. Kawhi comes back. We easily win the play-in tournament. We're in the playoffs. However, the bad thing with that is let's say they win and they become the 7th seed. Mm-hmm. Oh, good luck. Here's the Golden State Warriors with now Klay Thompson back. The flamethrower. Yeah. The 3 Splash Bros up there of Steph, Clay, and Jordan Poole. He's got Poole in his name. Of course he's a Splash Bro.
I mean, that's good.
He's cannonballing, Dave.
You see the Larry Bird jersey tribute? Yeah, I'm concerned.
Top 75 player, Klay Thompson, by the way.
77.
75.
77 jersey.
75 in my book.
77 jerseys. Yeah, it's so good. Like that's why you're a good organization right there. Because you can do that with star players and have fun.
And you humble them. You humble them a bit.
You do. It's all good. I think that I'm concerned. I had the Clippers just making it in at the 10th seed. Mm-hmm. I think in my predictions to start the year because I was really worried about this happening. Mm-hmm. I thought Bledsoe would be doing more. I thought, to be completely honest, Terrence Mann would be stepping up, and he's not. Mm-hmm. And I don't know whether that's a lack of opportunity or a lack of whatever you want to call it, but I am kind of waiting to see what changes happen to this team because it can't keep going like this.
I should be more worried.
Yeah.
I should be more worried.
With the amount of games that will separate the 10, 11, 12, even 9, like that's going to be so tight in the West. Think about that. Like these early season games in the West, no fucking joke.
I should be more worried. I had them as the 6th seed in making the Western Conference Finals because Kawhi will be back, right?
Yeah.
Because Kawhi will be
About
back,
that.
guys.
About that.
Kawhi will be back. I mean, it's early season, but yeah,
Right.
I'm a little worried if I'm a Clipper fan. Just a little bit.
I would be too. I'm sorry, Retro. I know you're gonna watch this at some point, and I just apologize that your team fucking stinks.
Uh,
Only the team potentially concerned about, I guess, is the Phoenix Suns. We talked about them a
really?
little bit earlier. Like,
Really?
are you concerned about anybody else?
I'm
Like, everyone else?
panic button on the Lakers, man. Like, old
Really?
man Lakers are not going to win a title this year. I don't care what anyone tells me. Like,
Carmelo Anthony.
if you need LeBron out there to win a game,
Anthony.
like, I'm telling you, maybe this is me overreacting to one game, but if you need LeBron James that badly to beat the lowly Thunder, what are you going to do when you have to play the Utah Jazz? When you have to play the Golden State Warriors? Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when the Dub Nation runs wild over you, brother?
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you. That was
like, come on. Like, this team stinks. They're old. They're old, and Russ is the problem. Apparently, Russ is always the problem, Dave, wherever he is.
Game of his,
I know.
Lakers.
I'm not saying he's the problem. I'm just feeding in, like, Russ is the problem wherever he goes. That's the problem. Russ is.
I mean, look, do teams get better when Russ leaves? Yes. Arguably,
Except
yes.
for the Thunder.
I mean, in theory, they got better because when he immediately left, Chris Paul took them in the playoffs.
Good point. They had Chris Paul.
But then they got much worse intentionally.
They just went full on tank mode.
The Rockets, much worse intentionally. The Wizards, weirdly, right now, everything's playing out well.
Yeah.
I love it. But no, I think that there is some cause for concern with the Lakers, but at the same time, LeBron's too good to let them not win. Like that's a simple truth. They will be a playoff team, and they probably will make it out of the first round. I had them going all the way to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's realistic looking at this team as it stands, but I do expect more moves to be made. We are still waiting on Nunn to return, which is going to be huge for them because if I have to watch Rondo and Russell Westbrook share the fucking court again, I will hurt myself. It is bad. It is so bad. I will just close my eyes and pretend I don't see what's going on.
Dave, I will say this. I had a first-round exit to the Lakers. You want to know why?
Why?
Warriors in 6, baby.
Oh, well, that's fair.
Warriors in 6. Like, they're not getting like, that's the thing. For this year, especially in the West, I have this weird feeling the Warriors are playing well. They're right there at the 2nd seed right now. I know it's early, but I feel like they're just going to gel, and then Clay's going to come back. Clay might have like a week or two where it's like he's gelling with the team. He hasn't hit right away. But then come playoff time, it's just going to be flamethrower. Yeah. Oh my God, the Warriors are back in the NBA is no fun.
Yeah, it feels inevitable to steal the term from Marvel there, but
so the Golden State Thanoses.
Yeah,
they gotta get Thanos Antetokounmpo on the team.
They got a couple spots to fill out still. It just. Yeah, I think the Lakers are kind of what I would expect for a team with so many new pieces and trying to jigsaw them all together. Yeah. It's almost like, what people thought the Bulls would be, but we're better because we're better than that, and we're better than the Lakers. I think that does it for all the teams to be concerned about, to be honest with you. I think that covers it.
I mean, there's none other that I'm really like, there's none other that I'm panicking about.
No other panics. Now we get to this. You guys have seen it all show. This is why you're here. This is the rookie ranking board. There's a channel in Discord that will have our weekly logs. Eventually, we're going to get high tech and put this on a fucking, graphic, but it would require forethought from Dave, and you're not going to get that for a bit. So, with that said, the NBA season is 2 weeks in the books. Rookie rankings, as always, as of last week. We will go we'll go bottom up. We'll go bottom up for rookie rankings. Last week, quick reminder, I'll read off my rookie rankings.
And then these are my first ones because I wasn't on them.
This will be Ricky's week 1. So last week, I had LP, Alperen Şengün, Franz Wagner, Giddey, JG4, Scotty Barnes, Duarte, and Mobley at the top of my board. Jake had Davion Mitchell, Suggs, Mobley, JG, Scotty Barnes, Giddey, and Duarte. With that in mind, I think that the place you have to start at the bottom of the board. At the 7th spot.
Yeah.
For me, it hurts me. A lot.
Yeah.
But it's
I'm just waiting
it's JG4. It's JG4.
Okay.
J. Is this too low? I can't tell.
No,
I gotta
you're
look at
good. You're good.
Okay. So I got JG4 at 7. And
Yeah, he hasn't been playing well, Dave. So Soapy was
turns out having a point guard is a problem.
Soapy
it's
was
a slight
keen.
issue to not have a point guard on the court.
I gotta pull it up, Dave.
Soapy was talking shit about him. Jake was talking shit back, and I feel it. We are both heavily invested in this man. But let's be honest, where's Cade? Not on this fucking list. I can tell you right now, Cade Cunningham ain't on the top 7.
Yeah, it was. Soapy said last night, Jalen Green woke up feeling dangerous today. 7 points, fire emoji, 20% field goal percentage, devil face, 0 of 4 from 3, shocked like scared emoji, 4 turnovers, the red face sweating.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Soaps, you're mad because your first overall pick also looks bad. But it's early in the season. Ours doesn't have a point guard. What's yours excuse?
Can we go back?
He's supposed to be a point guard.
Can we go back to when rookies like that were number 1 and number 2 actually performed like number 1
Instant
and number
impact,
2?
like
Yeah.
Ja Morant?
I mean, not even that. I'm talking about like, can we go back to like the superstar 1 and 2s? Like, I'm even talking about. I shouldn't
Look
say
at the last
like,
5 years. I know it's not the segment.
Yeah.
I will do it another time.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Special ones do. Not everybody does. So
like Luka. Can we get a Luka in here? Can we get another Luka to where it's like right away? It was like, oh my god, like this guy's amazing.
JG4, 8 threes in the game. He did that without a point guard.
I'm trying to think. Brandon Ingram wasn't like lights out.
Took a long time.
Away. Yeah.
Took a long time.
Karl Anthony Towns.
It was very good very early.
Yeah. Andrew Wiggins, Joel Embiid wasn't.
I mean, Wiggins peaked arguably year 1. No, I'm just fucking with you. Wiggins is good, though. He came really playing well.
How good was Victor Oladipo?
Look at Anthony Edwards. I mean, he sucked to start, but then he played awesome at the end of the... Like, it's a 2-part season.
You said
LaMelo Ball.
You said Anthony Edwards, and I thought you meant Anthony Bennett.
Anthony
I'm
Bennett,
looking at
because
that
you
draft class
associate the two?
No, I'm looking at this draft class right now.
Sure. You didn't call Anthony Edwards Anthony Bennett.
Yeah, I did. But, like, I was going to ask, like, I can't remember how good Victor Oladipo was year 1.
He was not great. He was on the Magic.
Anthony Davis was good year 1. Bradley Beal was good
fine.
year 1.
Yeah. So, with that said, JG4 is bottom my rookie power ranking for the top 7. Not overall, just top 7. Ricky, who you got for your 7th overall rookie?
I'm gonna go with a shocker. He's only played 3 games. Looks like he's on a minute restriction. Mainly because this is a guy that shoots threes. That's what I'm impressed with. 2 of 5, 2 of 4 in the last 2. Bones Highland. I'm gonna go Bones. I'm going Bones at 7 because he's one that didn't play right away against Cleveland in 10 minutes. 3 of 5 from the field. Efficient for 10 minutes. 9 minutes against Dallas. 2 of 4 from 3, 6 points. 18 against the T-Wolves. 2 of 5 from 3. Also passed the ball, had 3 assists, a block, a steal. That's what you want out of him. Like, he is growing, and I want to see more growth out of him and give him some props right now for limited minutes.
Yeah, his coach hates him. His coach admitted during the start of the race, he's like, shit,
Michael Malone?
he's actually pretty good. I have to play him.
Malone?
I have to play him. That's what he said. It was insulting that Mike Malone, who hates kids, is like, I have to play him. He's that good. Yeah. Like, Bull sitting over there in the corner fucking just collecting cobwebs, and you're like, oh, you got to play that guy. I agree. I think Bones has had a fantastic start, and I think that with more minutes, we'll see some more trust and some more love for him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's just like, I could have thrown Suggs in here.
That's, but like, you say it. I'm gonna write it.
Okay.
Jalen Suggs.
Okay.
He is fantastic defensively. And my thing with Jalen Suggs, which his whole last name just kind of comes together right there, it just looks like scribbles. Which is why we're going to get this as a graphic at some point, so you guys can actually read what I write instead of having to listen to me talk about it. Yeah. Jalen Suggs, if you look at his defensive numbers, they're actually incredible. His man coverage, his one-on-one on-ball defense is fantastic. He's one of the best defenders right now in the league. I know it's early season, so I'm going to limit my expectations, but this is him playing really well, and I think that, you know, in the matchup that we all marked early in the year, it was Jalen Suggs, Scotty Barnes. They both played up. You got to admit, they both played up, and they both lived up to expectations in that game. It was a great showdown. It had some great moments. I really think Suggs is like literally Drew Holiday. Like he's baby Drew Holiday. I love it. I'm so excited for this Magic team going forward. They legit have so many kids I like. Like it's just they've got young talent oozing. They better fucking develop them.
Yeah, I mean,
Because you're gonna see another Orlando Magic player higher on my list.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm trying to think here, and I think I'm gonna put that Orlando Magic player right here. I think I'm going with Franz Wagner. Like, it was either Wagner or Duarte, because Duarte's kind of, like, cooled off in my mind. And plus, like, I'm looking at, like, right now I'm looking at, like, where they're ranking with, like, their overall stats. And, like, Duarte's good, but the big thing that kills a lot of guys, and I know that, like, it's not Duarte's game or even Scotty Barnes' game, but, like, I do look at assists to turnovers to where it's like, okay, even if you do not assist the ball a lot, that means you can't turn the ball over a lot. And like with Suggs, that's the only thing, like the only just red area with him is his turnovers. He's kind of a little, but like we knew that coming in, so it's not like it's a big surprise. Like Franz Wagner, it's like he doesn't turn over the ball. His big thing is rebounds, but like he's not there to rebound. He's there to shoot threes and play defense, not turn over the ball. He's shooting threes well. He's not turning over the ball. His defense is good, not great right now. Good, not great.
You're underselling the man.
Okay.
He's the definition of underrated box scorer. Like what he does all the little fucking things in the court that you want out of a wing. He is so fucking. He's a professional already.
You talking about hustle points, Dave? He's hustling all over the court.
He's a coach's kid. He's a gym rat. He's sneaky, athletic.
Spark plug
out there. No, he's a fucking starting wing in the NBA. Day one, he's exactly what we said he would be. And I think that a lot of people shit on him because he's not the shiny, whatever guy. But like, he's just a very good, excellent fundamentals player who makes smart plays. He's not there to rebound because you have two 7-footers playing next to him. Mo Bamba's out there getting real minutes. Mo fucking Bamba's getting minutes and looking great. About time. Franz Wagner is literally doing everything right. And I think that you might be sleeping on him a little, but that's just me. We each have our own opinions, and I think you have a valid point. His stat line is not amazing. He's seemingly on the court, but not interacting a bunch, which is a little concerning at times.
You know what? Scratch that. Move him up one, because I'm going to put Duarte there.
Wow.
I'm changing my mind. I know I'm going to go next with Franz Wagner. I want to put Duarte below Wagner. The more I think about it. You talked me into it, too, a little bit. I should move Vag up one. The composer should be up one. Dave's like, damn it, you made me erase shit. I don't have an eraser here. I'm not a eraser head.
It's somewhere in the area around here. Let's just not talk about it.
A little bit messy, Dave. A little messy area. I mean,
what are you talking about? It's immaculate.
Let's be honest. My
living space is immaculate, man.
You clean the camera area, and that's all you do.
I think this is hilarious that you're putting Duarte here. I think his numbers are amazing. I think, no matter what I say, I don't want to influence your pick. I think there's
just other guys I like better than Duarte right now. I think Duarte, everyone's really high on him. There's guys I like a little bit better.
Sure. Okay. My pick right here, the spot right here, this is for Jake. This is Giddy.
Okay.
This right here is Giddy time. And I think the big thing for me with Josh Giddey, he's likable. He's likable. He's just out there. He does a little bit of everything. This is not a Thunder team where he's trying to win games. Well, they're not trying to win games. Yeah. He's trying to win games. But, like, it's just a very young team. And if his team could fucking shoot, he'd be averaging maybe 3 more assists a night. Seriously, he's very good. His shot, I think, is limited still, but it's about what you would expect. At least he's taking a couple threes to try to keep people honest early in his career. So credit him for not being Ben Simmons. But I think that he's just really fun. He's really good. I think it's a great pick so far. It's looking really good. It's looking really good for the OKC Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like Giddy, I'll be honest, I was gonna put him right above Wagner. Like
Okay.
it's
Okay.
one where I
Tough
like
book.
Giddy, but it's one of those to where it's like, okay, we saw flashes. There was one of the things where like, what now? He's the second youngest player behind LeBron to get like what 10 assists in a game or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
Like, yeah, that's insane. But like at the same time, like you said, he'd be averaging more if his goddamn team could make a shot.
You're damn right. You're damn right. So I'll just do it because I'm flip flopping you. I've got Franz here.
Yep.
Um, Again, like I said, like
Mm-hmm.
I love Franz Wagner.
Mm-hmm.
I can't spell his name. I put Wanger.
Wanger, Wagner, Gner,
Yep.
the composer.
Yeah, I love Franz Wagner. I think he's the perfect like
Mhm.
fit. He is exactly what this team needs. It's stability at the wing. I'm excited that Chuma's back, and I want to see how they figure out their laps because they have seemingly loaded front court once you bring Chuma and Isaac back. And
Mm-hmm.
they might need to move on from someone this year, but I think you let them play it out. You got contract control, so we'll definitely see. But Wagner's been so fucking good, and like all the little things. Like I said, he does every little thing right on the court. He's playing beyond his age. But again, this is what you get from someone who's been playing basketball for as long as he has, with the international experience that he had previous to coming over to Michigan. He's a very good player, and I love him. So for that, he gets number 4.
Yeah.
Big 3. Ricky, are you surprised? I'm not surprised.
I'm
We
kind
have
of
3 names at the top. My 3,
Mm-hmm.
Duarte. I have to
Yeah.
put Duarte here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm shocked that you don't like him because I think he's
It's
played
not
the
that I
most
don't.
minutes.
It's not that I don't like him. It's just I think with me, I'm looking at like my list I have here.
Yeah.
I think I might have fucked up, or I might have to move everyone up one. Because like I'm looking at the top 3, and there is one name that I am looking at to where I'm like, there is no way this guy is above Giddy, Wagner, or Duarte, and that's your boy LP.
What?
LP. Like the thing I like about LP is yet again zeroing in on a number. There is no better rookie better with stealing the basketball right now. Just like pure
He's aggressive
steals
and
per
he's
game.
smart.
I'll take that on a Rockets team that
So how do you want me to write this?
basically
Where
just
do you want LP?
where Duarte
John-
is.
Okay.
And
And then
just
Duarte up.
Yeah, everyone moves up one. I'm sorry,
Son
Dave.
of a
I
bitch!
know. It'd be better if I had like, all this written down and wasn't doing it on the fly.
You pull up a fucking tab and write it in Google Chrome for all I care.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I'm doing it like straight on the fly. Oh man. This is the content you guys come for. Us doing this shit on the fly and Ricky messing everything up, making Dave right. It's just gonna become scribbles, just scribbles.
It almost is already, but
No,
like
I
just
mean,
be
like-
happy
I
this
mean,
isn't
like-
Twitch. I could be like, we could put the camera back another 10 feet, and I could just turn around and bend in, write down your names on the board for you. If you guys tip, maybe I'll do that. Maybe we'll update the setup.
By the way, this is completely
Yeah.
off topic while Dave is doing this. Funniest thing all day. So I'm at school. End of the day, I'm like, I got to get a key card because I haven't gotten one yet. And I go to the tech office, and the guy, while he's printing my key card, I found it funny because he's got a huge monitor there, and I look over and he's just watching Overwatch on Twitch.
Yeah, that's the welcome to IT.
He's just got
Well,
Overwatch
welcome
going
to
on
IT.
Twitch. And this guy is like 10 years older than us. To where I'm like, I'm like,
Don't
okay.
age shame him.
I'm not
Don't
saying age
shame.
shame him. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting the Twitch. From someone like us, Dave, I totally expect the Twitch at work.
The dot.
Yeah. I thought you were just going to write ALP. LP.
Oh, LP? They do call him LP.
Yeah, that's
that is
why I
his
said
nickname.
LP, because that's what you wrote
Yeah.
last time.
I'll put the full Shengun.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean he just missed off on my list this week.
Yeah.
It was literally him and JG4,
Uh-huh.
and I like Alperen Shengun better,
Yeah.
but I can't put JG4 off my list.
I can, because he's a bust.
Ah.
Dave, why do they put music in porn? I'm trying to bust a nut, not bust a move.
What are you trying to get us demonetized? Jesus, this is NBA content. NBA gold mine right here. We got rookie top rankings for week 2.
I think the
2 weeks
last
in the
2 are
season.
easy, though.
Which order? Which order?
You first, and then me. There's only one order. Yep, Barnes and then Mobley. Yeah. Barnes at 2, Mobley at 1. That's the order. That is the order. I'll be honest. I'm kind of impressed with Scotty Barnes. I'm not impressed with Mobley. Like Mobley, this is what I thought he'd be. I thought Mobley would be good. And
This is tight. This is very tight, by the way.
When everyone's like, "Oh, Evan Mobley, he's gotta find a spot next to Jared Allen." Yeah, he did.
He contests the fuck out of everything.
Uh-huh.
Like literally, if a ball is within 7 feet of him, he's just wingspanning somewhere in that range to try to stop it. The impact is insane, and again, I'm super excited that he's playing that well. So, credit to him for an awesome start on an absolute shithole of an organization there in Cleveland. 3 7-footers is a terrible lineup, but Ricky Rubio makes y'all look good. But no, I think Mobley's playing insanely well. Scotty Barnes, I'm the same way. I think that he is playing out his goddamn mind. The whole Raptors as a team are playing better than I expected. I thought that they were a very young team with a couple of pieces on there who were like, all right, these guys who are going to captain the team, but they're just playing with an intensity and a passion that I did not see coming. And they're just fun. They're frustrating as all fuck when they play full court press. As a Bulls fan who watched our team crumble away a lead. I mean, Scotty Barnes has been excellent. Literally the only flaw in his game is his 3-point shot. We already knew that. I'm a little surprised that he's not. No, I mean, I'd say like more of a facilitator, but like it's very early, and I think at this point he's so turnover prone in the half court. Just let him do what he's most comfortable with, and worry about that later. Like year one, let him be comfortable, let him thrive in his system where he's able to just. I mean, their fast break is dangerous. They're scary. Barnes is a great slasher. He's just excellent all around as a player. So no, I think this is very close, and I think the only thing that for me Duarte is just like I don't know how he's going to continue playing as he gets dropped off. Like if Karis LeVert stays healthy, like does that mean that he's a bench player? Is he going to have his minutes cut? A lot of questions.
Yeah, and I mean there are some names too that like are not on the list, but I think are playing well. Like Davion Mitchell in flashes has been playing well, especially defensively. I think in his limited time in the rotation, I think Ayo Dosunmu is one of the, like, not numbers wise, but pure, like, not even hustle, just fearlessness of like, does not crumble. I am not going to be afraid to be what I know I can be. And like, you don't get that from rookies much. And
no, I think the fact he's a little older too helps. He's not a 19-year-old in here, so he feels more ready, I guess. He's played in big games at Illinois. A lot of pressure this last year to perform in major games. So, like, I feel really good about his play.
Anything else you want to add?
We got to see the debut of Jonathan Kuminga. He took his first shot in the NBA was a 3.
I'm not gonna say the nickname Jake and Soapy to say.
Not touching it. But we'll see. Like, expectations wise, I don't know how many minutes he gets. Like, he had 6 in his first night. I think so. We'll see. Like, is he gonna get 10 minutes a night as the Warriors continue on to build him up, or is he gonna be in that sub 10 range for a while as they continue to work? Wiseman's gonna be back, I believe, as well. So like, they've got a very filled roster with veterans already. So it's gonna be interesting to see how well they integrate the young kids in. So keep an eye out for him. He might be a garbage time god, which would be really fun to watch. Greg Brown, garbage time god. That man dunks. He's so mad. He dunks so mad. But yeah, no, I think that's about it. JRE's got a lot of minutes. Passable. He's passable. He's passable. That's all I can say.
That's all I've got. That's all.
Manton's been good. I mean, that's just I don't think there's anybody I'm like super disappointed in to start the year. I'm disappointed in teams for not playing rookies more, but that's neither here nor there. That ain't on the rookies.
Yep. It's on the coaches.
It's on the coaches.
Coaches got to play these young bloods more, Dave.
Absolutely. Any concerns about Cade not being able to hit the side of the barn to start his career?
A little bit, but then it was like at least he was doing something. He was rebounding the basketball, so it's almost like okay, you're doing something. Like that's the thing I want to see from a rookie too. Is like if your shot's not falling, Are you just
What
a net
else?
negative, or are you
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm going to impact the game somewhere else?
Yep.
And
Yep. I'm with you there.
He tried to impact it in rebounding while boxing out and elbowing his own players. Like, no, this is my rebound, my ball. You don't touch it, beef stew.
Bruh, Kai, I just saw the comment.
Yeah.
Cat is about to be 4-4 with Lowry at the 3, so it's working better than the 20 wins last year. Dude, Lowry didn't play games last year. Like, Lowry doesn't play a whole season.
No. He plays well at the beginning, and then he gets hurt, Dave.
That's the problem with Lowry. He's not a healthy player.
Just wait until he gets hurt. Tell me how much you love him then on the bench.
I think he's fine. I think he overpaid, and that sentiment won't change for a couple of years, probably.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to wait and see. It's a wait-and-see game.
He's got to play a full season first.
Yeah. But anyway, that's our rookie board. That's our power rankings. Week 2. I think that does it.
That does do it. Remember, join the Discord if you have not done that already. Link will be down below or it actually is down in the description if you want to. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/MVP vids, or you can go ahead and become a channel member today if you want to support us. Also, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and of course, Dave, as Asher says in chat, the title made me click the live. The title always does it. The clickbait. You have to go and watch the actual discussion we had. We didn't fat shame.
It was a good discussion at the beginning, Ashley. If you want to check it out.
It was. You get them.
We're not fat shamers, but
you get them in with the title. You get them in with the title. You keep them with the conversation. That's how it works. Pat McAfee taught me that.
Stop saying Giddy's a better passer than Cooper. I will. We don't got the time today. Just know you're wrong.
You saw that before me. It came on yours before it came on mine. I'm like, what's he talking about?
Just know you're wrong.
I was like, I didn't mention
they're
Giddy
baiting.
at all.
I know they're baiting me because I know they do it in Discord all the time.
But thank you guys for checking this out. Remember, shortly after this, I'm literally going to type in the title and everything. My college football rankings. I'm going to premiere the video that I recorded last night. So stay on the channel for that. That will be coming very shortly. Probably at 7:30. Let's just do 7:30. That will premiere on the channel. Thank you guys for doing everything that you guys do. And as always, have a good day, everybody.